Some leaders struggle with making quick decisions. How do you help leaders make decisions more quickly, but also confidently?
There was a study done with the most effective CEOs showing up as the ones who could make decisions quickly and confidently. So this is an important skill if you're a leader. The thing that holds people back from making decisions is this belief that the decision needs to be right. Like that there is a right decision. And maybe in the past there were right decisions, but these days there really aren't right decisions because there's too many variables. So we're living in a world that, is more volatile and chaotic, and things are changing so fast that, what might actually be a right decision now wouldn't be a right decision 20 minutes from now. Getting over the idea that you have to make the right decision is probably the key thing getting in the way of making quick decisions. So the question is, well, how do you become a good decision maker if you can't make right decisions? And when you go back to that study, it wasn't that these CEOs made the right decisions. They made more decisions. They also pivoted very quickly when they learned a decision wasn't right. And so it's really just changing your mindset, and understanding decision making has to be about understanding that your decision probably won't be right. It's as close as you can come with the information you have in the given moment, in the timeline that you have available, to get some input and understand the situation enough to make some kind of a decision. So the other thing is you tend to do better when you make decisions about the next step, as opposed to, you know, 3 years from now decision, right? 5 years from now. And I think that's hard for people, like when they're doing things like planning their career or planning their life or making a big move, starting a company. Some of these things are hard to decide because you really don't know that they're going to be successful things, and they require so much effort. But typically, I'm always looking for the easiest next step, and also kind of getting an idea of what would I need to know in order to make this decision. So it's the shift in thinking that's the number one thing, and then it's the making it easier and thinking about the next step and understanding that I'm always going to be pivoting a little bit. So if we take you through an example of, let's say, a big move, right? I want to know if I'm going to upend my whole life and I'm going to move to Oklahoma because there's a job in Oklahoma, and I can't work remote, so I have to move to Oklahoma. So that's a big decision, and I don't know that I can make it quickly, but I have a natural deadline, which is when do I have to get back to the people if I'm going to do it. So sometimes having that deadline is helpful. And then what's all the information that I need to know that I can get within that timeline that's going to help me. And when it comes to a big life change like that, some of it is, how afraid am I that I'm not going to get another job? How long can I afford to stay unemployed? Is there something I can do to make it more temporary? Like, instead of buying a house in Oklahoma, maybe I don't sell my house here. Maybe I find a way to get an Airbnb for 3 months when I start my job, and then I see how I feel moving into it. And if I'm still unsettled, maybe I rent an apartment for 6 months, right? So you do what you can to make the decision less high stakes and more of an experiment. And that's how you build the confidence and the ability to make decisions more quickly.